Hello everyone, Heather here with astrologywithheather.com, and I am back with another weekly forecast. And this one is for Monday, December 17th, all the way through to Sunday, December 23rd of 2018. And before we get into the astrology for this week, which is actually quite nice, I do want to just make a quick announcement and let you guys all know that I am doing an end of the year sale on all of my webinars from 2018. So you can get 25 to 50% off of the webinars that I did this year. So I'm offering 25% off of my webinar all about astrocartography and the astrology of relocation, which was about 5.5 hours long. I did it over the summer. It was a very popular webinar. People seem to really like it, and so if you want to get that at a discounted rate, you can do that. The link is in the description below. I'm also offering 50% off of my astro navigation for 2019 webinar that I did with Robert Phoenix, where we went into all of the most important transits and configurations that are going to be occurring for 2019, so that way you can be prepared for the year ahead. And so the link for that 50% off is in the description below as well. And so anyway, so this week we have a lot of really beautiful, really nice energy actually with this full moon that's happening in the sign of Cancer. I would say this is the best full moon that we've probably had this year in terms of the energy and even the planetary energy that's going to be, aligning with this full moon, which is also occurring just after the winter solstice comes exact, right? So we have the winter solstice, which is this time of year where it's sort of like the new moon of the solar cycle, where it's time to turn inward to seed intentions for the year ahead. That's actually where we get this idea of New Year's resolutions, is from the winter solstice, which is already automatically a time for turning inward, introspection, and seeding what it is that you want to create moving forward in the year ahead. And then when we come to the spring solstice or the spring equinox, that's when you start to see the physical manifestation and you start to actually take action more out in the world in terms of the things that you want to grow and you want to seed for the year ahead. And so we have the winter solstice, which is coming exact on Friday, and we have a lot of really beautiful energy around this solstice and around this full moon, which I'm going to get into in the sign of Cancer, which is a sign that's associated with the home and family and connecting with the people that we love the most, connecting with our ancestors and our roots. And so this is a really great energy for the holidays, right? For Christmas, for whatever holiday it is that you celebrate, where you're connecting with your family, where you're, spending time with the people that you care about the most, maybe going home and traveling to where you grew up, right? Reconnecting with your roots. But before that even happens, this week on Thursday, we have a really nice energy coming in with the sun in a really nice trine with Uranus. And so actually, let me pull up the chart for the new moon, because that's going to be part of it as well. So you can see right here, right there. You can see right there this is the chart for the full moon in Cancer, and all of these configurations will be coming exact around the time of the full moon in Cancer, so you can see them in the chart. And so we have this really powerful connection here between the sun, which represents our consciousness. It illuminates things in the astrology and in the birth chart, and it's illuminating the need for change, right? And it's also at the end degrees of the sign of Sagittarius, while we have Uranus for the very last time transiting the end degrees of the sign of Aries. And so this is sort of one last push and one last chance to very easily make the changes and the adjustments that we've been needing to make in whatever area of life is being affected by this, Uranus in Aries, which has been going on for the past 8 years. We've been having Uranus in Aries, and it's finally started to move into Taurus. And this is the final time that it's coming back and dipping into Aries, so it's sort of showing us the final changes, the final adjustments, anything that we need to initiate in that area that we haven't initiated yet. We can make those changes very easily. This is also an energy of divine inspiration. Uranus is known as the Great Awakener because it brings inspiration, it brings these downloads, these sort of flashes of insight where we can really hone in on the answers to maybe problems that we've been working on and trying to sort through for maybe even the past 8 years, right? But it can bring new answers and new ideas, innovative new solutions to old problems and old issues that we've been holding on to and working on. It can also help us to break free from areas that have become stale and stagnant, where we need a little bit more excitement, where we need to change something in order to feel more liberated and more lit up about that area of our life again. And so, you know, that's a lot of the energy that's coming in with this Uranus trine to the sun, which will be part of the configuration. As you can see here, I'm pointing the wrong way because this is like, it's not a mirror. So you can see that right here. Yeah, this way. Okay, so you can see that. You can see that that there's going to be this trine to the sun and also a sextile with the moon, which indicates that this is a really important time for change. There's also an energy with this new moon and the winter solstice of a fresh start, a new beginning, because this full moon is happening at the 0 degree in the sign of Cancer. And so this could help you, this could bring the culmination point of some sort of change that you've been trying to make as it relates to your home, your family, your roots, creating better structure and form around your work life, so that way you can have more time for the things that go on after work and for connecting with the people that you care about the most. This could be a new beginning in your family life. This could be a new beginning on an emotional level for you. It's the culmination point of something, obviously, because this is a full moon, and that's what the full moon represents. It's a coming back into balance between two areas of life. But at the same time, there's this energy here of newness, right? Because we're coming into the winter solstice. It's like a reset. And it's our reset for the year ahead, where we're dumping out the old, we're letting go of all of the trials and tribulations and things that did not work out for us in the previous year, and we're moving into this energy of seeding those new intentions, right? Those New Year's resolutions. And so this is going to be a really, I think, a really strong time to create those changes that you want to create for yourself. Instead of doing your New Year's resolutions on the new year, I always recommend doing them on the winter solstice. That's what I do personally, because that's when the energy is strongest for it, right? We have this Gregorian calendar that's sort of offset from the natural cycles of the earth, the moon, the sun, the cosmos. And so reconnecting with those natural cycles, I think, is very important. And it actually helps us to flow more in harmony with the energy and to utilize it in a more appropriate way, which is what astrology is about, right? It's about connecting with the natural cycles of the planets and the sun and the moon. And so anyway, so the winter solstice this year in particular is especially strong for seeding intentions and creating something new, making those final changes that you need to make very easily, making new changes that you need to make very easily as well. This is cardinal energy, right? Cardinal energy is always about starting, initiating. The cardinal signs are the signs that represent the start of each season and sort of the change of seasons. And so, you know, when we have the winter solstice, it's the beginning technically of winter, even though it's kind of like midwinter, but it's, you know, astrologically the beginning of winter, and that's what we consider it, you know, even in the Gregorian calendar and all of that. But anyway, so this is a time of seeding those intentions. The other energy that's really good for that, that's coming exact on the winter solstice, which is the 21st, is Mercury conjunct Jupiter. So Mercury represents our mind, our intellect, our reasoning skills, our ability to analyze things, to make plans. It's our communication as well. And so this could be a really great time to have very powerful, positive, expansive new ideas, right? Because it's our minds, it's the way that we're thinking about things. We're thinking much more expansively. We're thinking about the big picture. In Sagittarius, we're aiming for those long-term goals and plans, right? Because Sagittarius is the archer, so there's this this energy of sort of aiming for something and setting our sights on something that's far off in the distance in order to sort of accomplish and achieve those goals moving forward. There's also this energy of optimism, right? When we talk about Jupiter, it's very optimistic, very expansive, especially in the sign of Sagittarius. And this can really help us to think more optimistically, to think more expansively, to have more confidence in the plans that we're making. It could have us a little overconfident when it comes to our New Year's resolutions or intentions for the year ahead. But, you know, for the most part, I would say that this is really good for, you know, thinking big and thinking far off in the distance and, you know, really cultivating our dreams for the future and figuring out how we're going to make it happen. And I would say the details might not be there yet, right? And that's part of it. And that's the same thing with the winter solstice energy. It's not time to actually go in and do stuff yet. It's time to sort of sit and reflect and seed those intentions. But with that Jupiter energy, you know, it's really good for focusing on that far off goal in the distance. We also have this really nice energy this week of Venus in a really nice trine with Neptune and Pisces. And so we have Venus, which is really passionate and really intense in the sign of Scorpio right now. It's all about creating deep intimacy. It's getting to know people on that deeper, more intense level. It's creating those strong bonds where you can really trust people. It's focusing on loyalty and sensuality and sexuality in relationships. But it's also, you know, a lot of the energy of Scorpio is about creating those deep emotional and psychological bonds with other people. And so when we have Venus transiting through the sign of Scorpio, we don't necessarily want surface level interactions with other people. We want to run deep. We want to know everything about the other person. We want to know what makes them tick. We want to figure out the subtle nuances of their behavior and their motivations for doing what they do. And maybe we don't necessarily want other people to figure that out about us. But once we trust people, you know, with Venus in Scorpio, once that trust is gained, you know, Venus in Scorpio is very loyal, and you know, so there is that energy of opening up and creating that intimacy, both sides, right? And with this energy of this trine to Neptune, Neptune is all about compassion and care and love and interconnectedness. It's very mystical and creative. And so this is a really great energy for forging those really deep, really compassionate, empathic connections with other people, where you can really get to know people and really form really strong bonds with your friends, your families, your spouses, your people that you're in close relationship with. And so this is a really nice energy around relationship. It's not Neptunian in the sense where we're going to be blinded to what's really going on, because it's in a positive aspect, right? So it opens us up just enough to feel more empathic, to feel more interconnected, to feel more compassionate and charitable, just in time for the holiday season, right? So we're going to be probably seeing people wanting to give back, wanting to do things for people who are less fortunate, wanting to show the people that we care about them, by maybe even giving gifts that are a little bit more tailored to the individual, right? Instead of just going on Black Friday and buying a bunch of technology and things like that, you know, maybe this is a good time to think about what that person really truly wants and to give them something with emotional value, right? With this water energy. So that's what's going on this week. There's a lot of really powerful, really beautiful energy around this full moon. I think this is one of the best full moons this year because the planetary energy is really nice at the same time that the full moon itself is quite nice. There is a wide T-square going on with Mars. I wouldn't be super concerned about that because it's kind of almost out of orb. But yeah, for the most part, the energy is quite nice here. There will be a Sun conjunction to Saturn, but that'll be happening, you know, we'll talk about that probably next time. But for this week, it's a very beautiful, very powerful energy. So yeah, so let's start getting into the forecast for all 12 signs, shall we? And so I am going to try to do something a little different today and put up a little thing for each sign, because everybody comments that they want that. Which it's like a lot of extra work for me to make that happen. So I figured out a way to do it where it's not going to be super crazy. So we'll start with Aries and Aries rising. And as always, it's best to listen for your rising sign first and your sun sign is secondary. What I use is called a solar chart, which is where you place the sun on the rising sign. So you're sort of reading the sun sign energy as if it were the rising sign. And so it'll be accurate for the sun sign as well, but it's going to be most accurate to actual events if you look at your rising sign. And some people do like to listen to their moon sign, especially people who have a lot of really strong lunar energy, like a lot of Cancer or a really strong moon placement, and that's okay too. Whatever works for you and whatever helps you to get the most out of this forecast, go for it, right? All right, so let's start with Aries. So for Aries and for Aries rising, for this full moon, there's going to be, let's move this around here and rearrange everything that I'm doing. So for Aries and for Aries rising, this full moon is happening in your 4th house of the home and family. So this is an excellent time for you to connect with your family, connect with your roots, reconnect with people that you haven't seen in a very long time, reconnect with your ancestral lineage, your ancestral patterns. This could be the culmination point of a project that you've been working on related to your home, your family, your property. This could also just be signifying the need for you to come back into balance between your work life and your home life, and to make those those final adjustments to the way that you sort of navigate and move through the world in order to make that a possibility for yourself moving forward. And so for Aries, this is about making changes that come from making changes that help you to feel more personally free, more personally liberated, right? This is Uranus for the very last time dipping back into Aries, which is your sign. And especially if you have your sun, moon, rising near the end degrees of Aries, so that, 28th degree is where Uranus will be as part of this configuration. This is going to highlight very easily the need to change something, right? And the need to make those final adjustments, those final changes. You might have divine inspiration. You might have these powerful insights. You might have shocking and unexpected circumstances that come in to show you where you need to make changes, especially as it relates to your career and your work and what it is that you're doing out in the world. I would say that, this is going to be a week where even though it's a full moon, you might be wanting to spend more time at home as opposed to out in the world, because this full moon is happening in that 4th house of the home. So this is you spending more time behind the scenes. You're also going to be having this conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter happening in your 9th house, which is foreign travel. It's sort of long distance travel. It's connection with people in foreign lands. It's the bigger picture, the broader perspective. It's your beliefs about God, the universe, the world around you that sort of frame your reality. And so this could be you rethinking your belief system in a way that's much more expansive, much more positive. This could be you just really stepping back and taking an outside perspective to survey your long-term goals and plans moving forward. There's a lot of different things that you could do with this energy. This would be a great time to think about initiating some sort of learning pursuit, educational pursuit, connecting with a teacher that you've been wanting to connect with, thinking about your travel plans for the holidays or for the coming year. This is going to be a year for you to expand on that area of life, right? Your wisdom that you gain through experience. And so this is you making plans to seed those intentions for the new year. And then with Venus is actually going to be making this really beautiful trine with Neptune in the 12th house. Venus is actually in your 8th. And so this could be an energy of just going inward. This is an energy of exploring deep mysticism, deep creativity. This is an energy of healing yourself from the inside out in a way that's energetic, that's psychological, that's emotional. This could just be you needing to spend a little bit more time inward and introspection. But this is, a creative sort of energy. So overall this week, though, a lot of the sort of physical manifestation is going to be occurring home, family, and also in your work, and thinking about new ways for the coming year to create that work-life balance, right? And to figure out what it is that you want when you come home, right? So you have this Saturn in your 10th house really focusing on career, public reputation, what it is that you're doing out in the world, having to work really hard to create a name for yourself. That's the energy with Saturn and Capricorn for Aries. But what do you want outside of that? You've been working really hard this year. So what do you want to come home to? What do you want on the other side of things? All right. Let's do Taurus. All right. And then for Taurus and for Taurus rising, this full moon is happening in your 3rd house of communication. And so this could be you coming back into balance from focusing on the bigger picture, focusing on your higher educational pursuits, focusing on like learning new skill sets, focusing on your beliefs, your overarching sort of beliefs about God, the universe, the world around you, your moral and ethical value system, and focusing a little bit more on the day-to-day experience and connecting with people in a less rigid Capricornian way, and in a more sort of emotional, supportive, heartfelt, interconnected sort of way, right? This is going to help you to express your emotions a lot more freely through your communication. This is going to help you to provide communication and ideas for people that are very supportive and very nurturing. This could be a really good time for you to travel, to connect with siblings, extended family members. This could be a really good time for you to travel even locally, take a short distance trip, because that's the 3rd house, in order to sort of renew yourself, right? Because you're having this Uranus, which is transiting your 12th house in this really nice configuration with the full moon. And so this could be, you needing to change something in order to get away, to take a break from your day-to-day reality, and to be able to do that more on a regular basis even. This is a good time for, again, travel plans, I would say, and for communicating with the people that you care about the most, and communicating your feelings with them, right, in a way that's very genuine and very loving and very compassionate. You also have this energy here of Venus in this really nice trine with Neptune. Venus is in your 7th house, which is the house of relationship, right? It's all of your one-on-one interpersonal relationships, and it's in trine with Neptune in your house of friends and social networks. And so for Taurus in particular, this energy is all about communicating and connecting with people, traveling to places where you can connect with people that you care about, becoming much more loving, more compassionate, much more empathic in all of your relationships and contacts and interactions with people, especially on that one-on-one basis, and especially when it comes to your groups of friends, the people that you surround yourself with. You can feel yourself just opening up and feeling much more loving, especially if you have your Taurus rising but around 13, 14 degrees. So I would say anywhere from 10 to 15, or I would say 11 to 16 degrees, you would be feeling this the most, maybe even 17 degrees. You'll be feeling this the most on your descendant. And so this is going to bring a very loving, compassionate, interconnected energy to your relationships. You might be fantasizing about the future with your partner, thinking about the plans and the goals that you have moving forward. You also have this energy here of this Mercury conjunction to Jupiter. This is happening in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of power and control. And so this is you thinking about how you can take back your power as it relates to money, resources, joint finances, as it relates to your fears, your anxieties, your insecurities, bad habits, addictions, right? Obsessions, compulsions, all of these things that are in the 8th house. And this is highlighting this for you on the winter solstice. So you can think about what intentions that you want to seed for the year ahead, right? With this winter solstice energy. And so your intentions might be to take back your power in a relationship, to take back your power financially by getting out of debt, to empower yourself to move past your fears and anxieties, to break free from old addictions, habits, and patterns that have been holding you back from reaching and fulfilling your full potential. And so that's the energy for Taurus and for Taurus rising. For Gemini and for Gemini rising, this full moon is happening in your 2nd house of finances. And so this could be you receiving some sort of reward or recognition financially for the work that you've been putting in this year. This could be you coming back into balance from, focusing so much of your attention and energy on other people's money, other people's resources, joint finances through marriage. And now, this is a new beginning for you to figure out how to create resources through your own efforts, your own hard work. There's an energy of needing to change and make adjustments in these areas of life, and that'll become more prevalent as we come into eclipse season next month. But there is an energy of something changing in terms of the way that you create resources for yourself and the way that you go about earning money. The shift is going to be more toward earning money on your own and focusing less on investments, inheritance, debt, things of that nature, and maybe breaking free from those areas of life. But there's a need to make adjustment in preparation for the eclipse season. And that adjustment can come through networking with the right people, so that way you can, find the job that you want to create for yourself, or so you can get the clients that you need to get in order to have more financial freedom, or to do things in the way that you want to do them moving forward, that in a way that's more in alignment with your true path, your true purpose. And I'm talking about Gemini. See, this is why I don't do these things. I'm talking about Gemini, and I have Taurus up, so it's not even, it's pointless. Gemini, it's already started, but there it is again. So Gemini, what was I even saying before that? It's very distracting. So I was talking about finances for, the coming year, and how this is a culmination point and also a new beginning, right? It's a culmination point of something you've already started as it relates to your financial situation, but it's a chance to also start fresh and to do something in a new way. This is also going to bring this week is also going to bring the conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter in your 7th house. The 7th house is the house of relationship, partnership. It's business partnership, right? So if you're thinking about starting a business and partnering up with somebody, if you're thinking about making the right connections with the right clients or the right investors, which, could go in alignment with this full moon energy as well. If you're just wanting to improve your relationship and your communication within your current partnership, this is a time when passions can be reignited in relationship, when the relationship itself can be revitalized. You can start creating, goals and plans together as a couple, as a unit. And so this is you planning for the future within your partnership. With this energy here with Venus is in a really nice trine with Neptune, and so this is improving your work-related partnerships and your work-related relationships. This could also be helping you to come back into balance as it relates to your health in ways that are a little bit more subtle, more energetic, more mystical. So thinking about your spiritual well-being and your spiritual health and how that impacts the health of the body, and helping yourself to come back into balance through recognizing this connection. All right. Oops. And then for Cancer, and for Cancer rising. So this full moon is all about you. So this is the culmination point of maybe something that you seeded in favor of your own self-interest, in favor of the things that you value, in favor of your own self-image. This could be you actually getting recognition for something that you started a long time ago. This could be you needing to come back into balance instead of focusing so much of your energy on developing partnership and working really hard to create good connections in your life, because right now relationship could feel like a lot of work or a lot of responsibility, or you might be taking on new responsibilities within a partnership. And so this might be a need to sort of come back into your own, to focus on self-care, to focus on your comfort zones, what you need, want, and desire to feel comfortable, safe, and secure in life. This could be you needing to express your emotions more out in the world. Maybe you've been bottling things up because you've been working really hard on forming these connections, on having good relationships. And so this energy could be just you needing to express yourself more emotionally. There could be changes that you need to make, final changes that you need to make to your career, your public reputation, the work that you're doing out in the world in order to create better balance and harmony in relationship. There could be changes and adjustments that you need to make in regards to business or career related partnerships and relationships as well. Again, in order to make sure that you come back into balance, so you have time not just to focus on your relationships and your partnerships and your clients and whatever it is, but so that way you have time for yourself and your own needs, your own self-interest, your own self-care. The other thing that's happening is that you have Mercury in a conjunction with Jupiter in your 6th house. And so this is you thinking about what you need in the future as it relates to your day-to-day work routines, your day-to-day work habits, adjusting your daily routines so that way they're more in alignment with your values, your moral and ethical values. So you feel like you have more freedom. So you feel lit up and optimistic and excited about the work that you're doing on a day-to-day level again. This could be you thinking about making adjustments to your nutrition habits, your health routines, in order to create better health for yourself in 2019. I mean, this is going to be a great year for you with Jupiter in the sign or in the 6th house. If anyone's going to stick to a health routine or like a diet or an exercise program, it's going to be the Cancer rising people, which Cancer rising is normally very, Cancers in general, they're very food motivated. It's sort of a nurturing thing. They're one of the sort of food addiction signs, as my teacher Lynn Coiner would say. But the energy this year is that you can make changes there, right? And so you can benefit, your health can benefit through the changes that you're making and through the plans that you're making for the future. This is also an energy of romance and creativity and fun and play with Venus in your 5th house of romance and partnership, coming into this really nice trine with Neptune, which is in your 9th house of foreign travel. So maybe this is you changing your beliefs about something, or this is you spending more time in creativity, doing things that you love to do because you love to do them because they're fun for you, especially creative pursuits. This could be you having a dreamy sort of romantic experience with your partner or maybe with a new partner. This could be you spending more time coming back into balance by connecting with your children and, exploring more creative, interconnected forms of play with them, or exploring spirituality with your children, whatever it is that feels good to you. And so that's for Cancer and for Cancer rising. And then Leo. Sorry, I'm still working on making this work. So for Leo and for Leo rising, so this energy with the full moon is happening in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of rest and reprieve. And so you've had a lot of energy happening in Capricorn with Saturn and Capricorn around work and working really hard on a day-to-day basis to sort of do the small little things in your day-to-day life to help to to help you to further your long-term goals and plans, right? So when you have Saturn in the 6th house, your day-to-day routines, your day-to-day reality becomes a lot more work. You become a lot more hardworking and disciplined when it comes to the work that you're doing out in the world, when it comes to your health routines and your health habits. Working on your health can feel like a lot more work and a lot more of a burden during this time, but the payoff is, pretty extensive when you work with the energy of Saturn rather than against it. So taking on more disciplined health routines, taking care of your nutrition, all of these things that you've been sort of focusing on. Now it's time to focus on the opposite end. It's time to focus on rest and reprieve, right? The 12th house is the house where we go for solitude, seclusion, rest, relaxation, vacation. And so this could be you just focusing on needing to take more time out for yourself, needing to take time out to just relax a little bit more, to focus on your spiritual side rather than just the physical realm, focusing on your spiritual and sort of subjective, internal, subconscious health, as opposed to just what's going on and manifesting outwardly and externally. This could be you making some changes and adjustments to your plans for travel so that way you can have more time for rest. Maybe you need to cut your travel plans a little bit short so you can spend a little bit of time at home just relaxing and just, spending time away from the world. This would be an excellent time to plan like maybe some sort of spiritual retreat or some sort of vacation for, the coming year. You're also going to be having Jupiter conjunct Mercury in your 5th house of children. And so this could be a time for you to make plans for travel with your children, to make more time in the coming year for you to play and enjoy your relationship with your children. Jupiter is expanding on your relationship with your children if you have any. This is also an excellent time to make plans for the future as it relates to your hobbies, your interests, the things that you love to do because you love to do them, your passions. And so you might be thinking about you needing a little bit more time for rest and a little bit more time to focus on the things that you're passionate about and that you do because you love to do them for the coming year. This could also be a revitalization of your romantic life and your romantic sort of your romance in your relationship, or this could be a new partnership coming in for you this year. And so maybe you're thinking about what you want in terms of romance, what you want in terms of partnership for the coming year. But this is going to expand on the energy of play and your passions and doing the things that you love to do for the coming year. And so now is time to make plans to make sure that you're able to do that. This is also going to bring an energy in your 4th house. So this is actually a really great energy for coming back into balance and becoming much more compassionate as it relates to your family relationships over this next week and over the next couple of months. And that could be a really great intention for you to set for the winter solstice and for the year ahead. Coming back into balance through just opening yourself up and being much more empathic and compassionate and loving in all of your family relationships with your spouse, with your children, with your in-laws, with your parents, whoever it is. Opening yourself up to be much more compassionate in those areas of life. And this could also be you cashing in maybe on some sort of investment or something like that and funneling that energy into making your home much more beautiful and much more expansive, where it feels more like a little sanctuary, which is what Leo rising people need with Scorpio on the IC, right? With Scorpio being the ruler of the 4th house, you need your home to feel like a safe space, like a little sanctuary. It's a place where you go for solitude and seclusion. It's like your bat cave. And so maybe you're, redecorating and making your home feel more comfortable, more beautiful for the year ahead, or setting intentions to do that. All right. So for Virgo and for Virgo rising, this full moon is happening in your 11th house of friends. And so now is a time for you to reconnect with old friends, reconnect with people from your past, or forge new connections with new groups of friends, new people that, maybe you want to surround yourself with. This is a week of socializing. Maybe you've been focusing a lot of your energy with Saturn being in the 5th house on really taking your hobbies, your interests, the things that you love to do, and turning it into something really grounded and practical, like starting a business. There's been a lot of energy around children and raising children, if you have any. There's been a lot of burden and responsibility in that area of your life. And so now it's time to come back into balance. It's time to focus on your friends. It's time to focus on your group, right? Your tribe, and to forge those connections with people, those very comfortable, supportive, nurturing connections with the people that you care about, the people people that you surround yourself with by choice. And so this is coming back into balance by going out, spending time with your friends, right? Connecting with new groups of people, joining some sort of charitable organization, right? That could be part of it as well. Making changes and adjustments to your social circle and to your plans moving forward as it relates to your hobbies, your interests, your passions, your children, your time for play, your romantic life, in order to make sure that you have time also to spend time with the group, to connect with the people that support you and love you and care about you, with Cancer as the ruler of the 11th house. The other thing that's going on for Virgo and for Virgo rising is that you're having Mercury conjunct Jupiter in the 4th house of the home and family. And so now is a time to really hone in on very expansive, optimistic plans and goals for the future as it relates to your home and your place of living, as it relates to your family situation. This is a great time to improve family relationships. This is a great time to connect and communicate with family members. So if you're traveling for the holidays, also, this is a really great time to travel, to reconnect with your roots. But over the next year, you're going to be having Jupiter expand on your home, your family, your property, and bring great benefits there. So thinking about your plans for the future and what you can do to help facilitate that expansion and to utilize it in a very positive and powerful way. The other energy that's happening is involving communication with people that you're really close with, because you have Venus, which is in Scorpio, in your 3rd house of communication, and a beautiful trine with Neptune in your 7th house of partnership. And so this could be a really great time to have a very loving, compassionate, interconnected experience within a partnership. So if you're in partnership, this could be you deepening your connection or just having a really romantic, fantastical, loving time with your partner. This could also be a good time for you to have some sort of important communication or conversation in partnership. And it doesn't have to be romantic partnership. It could be having a really compassionate, loving connection and communication with a close friend or a close relative, or having that talk that you needed to have with your business partner or with somebody that you're close with at work. And it's going to be much more well received because both parties are going to feel much more empathic, much more interconnected. This is really great for forging deep, close connections and relationship this week, and communicating, maybe expressing your feelings, something like that. All right, and then for Libra and for Libra rising, oops, every time I do that I shake everything. For Libra and for Libra rising, this energy of the full moon is happening in your 10th house of career. And so maybe you've been focusing a lot of energy on laying down roots, on what's going on behind the scenes, right? And what goes on after work, what you want, in terms of your life, as opposed to, what you're doing out in the world in service of humanity. And now this could be the culmination point of something that you initiated as it relates to your work out in the world. This could be the culmination of something that you seeded, a new sort of exciting change that you made in partnership with somebody else, because this is going to be in that sextile with Uranus, which is making its final transit through your 7th house of partnership. This could be you needing to make changes within a partnership in order to reach this culmination point when it comes to your work and what it is that you're putting out there into the world. This could be you making adjustments and changes to your relationship with your bosses, authority figures, work-related partnerships. But really this is about you getting some sort of recognition, or needing to focus more of your energy on what you're putting out there into the world, as opposed to what's going on behind the scenes. This is also a really great energy with Mercury conjunct Jupiter in your 3rd house for communication of all kinds, right? So this is a great time to make plans, to make ideas, to seed intentions. This is an excellent time for travel, short or long distance. This is a really great time to think about educational pursuits for the year ahead, expanding on your knowledge base with Jupiter in the 3rd house, or maybe you doing something where you're writing and publishing something, or doing something where you yourself are becoming a teacher with Jupiter in the 3rd house. Especially if you're teaching skills that are very practical, but are also connected to a bigger, more expansive ideal, right? Because that's Sagittarius. So connecting what you're teaching to your integrity, to your moral and ethical values and belief systems, which is something you would already, kind of naturally do. But this is a great time for communication. If you have an important document you need to send out and have signed, if you have an important talk that you need to have with somebody, it's going to go better for you this week. This is also a really great energy around your work and around your finances. You can just find yourself really wanting to take a nice vacation and just spending time, in rest and reprieve, and not focusing so much energy on working really hard out in the world. Even though you have that full moon in Capricorn or in Cancer in your 10th house, you're going to need to be out in the world a little bit more than you might think you will. But you have this beautiful energy of Venus in your second house of finances, and this really beautiful trine with Neptune, which is a planet of manifestation. It dissolves everything it touches, but it also materializes things, right? Things kind of come out of the ethers when you have Neptunian energy involved. And so in a positive aspect, this could be an energy of you visualizing something in terms of your financial future, and that actually coming to fruition either now or into the year ahead. And so thinking about ways that you can sort of, manifest what you want to manifest as it relates to your finances and your resources moving forward. But this could even be you wanting to sort of spend money on something like a really nice gift for somebody because you're feeling very loving or compassionate, or you want to give back to somebody else. And do something charitable, which is another Neptunian energy, and you having the resources to do it and you actually going out and doing that. This is an excellent energy for giving really really intimate, very considerate gifts to other people, that type of thing. So there's a lot of stuff that you could do with this energy, but overall it's a good week for your work. It's a good week to make adjustments and to think about what you want for your work and your home life moving forward, what you want for your financial situation, making plans for education and plans for travel, and communicating, right? So this is a good week for communication. All right. Sorry, I'm still figuring out how to make this happen. Okay, so for Scorpio and for Scorpio rising, so this energy for you guys is happening in your, let's see here, it's happening in your 9th house of foreign travel, long distance travel. This could be, you've been focusing a lot of your energy with Saturn in the 3rd house on day-to-day communications, day-to-day activities, marketing, making plans, and sort of organizing paperwork and bureaucratic stuff. This could have been sort of suppressing your ability to learn something new, right? Because you've been focusing so much on the day-to-day, the mundane, the bureaucratic stuff, that you haven't been able to focus on the bigger picture, on the broader, more expansive perspective, to learn something that has sort of a higher value, a higher wisdom. This could also be you getting out there and just traveling, right? And so the culmination point of this could be you experiencing travel, you getting to sort of branch out a little bit, maybe traveling home for the holidays, right? Which is Moon in Cancer's, home and family in the 9th house of foreign travel or long distance travel. And so this could just be, something as simple as that. You making adjustments to your day-to-day work routines and your day-to-day habits as well, with Uranus going backwards into your 6th house for the very last time in order to make sure that you're able to travel more, to expand, to spend more time with your family, to spend more time learning and educating yourself, to teach even, right? So taking time to make adjustments to your day-to-day routine so that way moving forward in the year ahead, you can have these really beautiful, expansive new beginnings, so you can focus more on teaching or continuing your education or traveling and spending less time, working and doing the mundane tasks. This could also be you making final adjustments to your health and your daily health routines, your nutrition, in order to allow you the health and the vitality that you need in order to travel, in order to take on that educational pursuit, in order for you to take on a role as a teacher, right? These types of things could come up. This could also be you publishing something and making final adjustments to whatever it is that you're writing or editing in order to put it out there in the year ahead. And then this is going to be a really powerful energy. So there's a couple good things going on here for Scorpio. So Scorpio rising is going to have Venus in your 1st house and this beautiful trine with Neptune in the 5th. If you have your sun, moon, or rising around 13-14 degrees in the sign of Scorpio, so I would say anywhere from, let's say, 9 to like 18 degrees Let's do that. You're gonna, or 9 to 17 degrees. Let's make it a little smaller than that. But if you have your sun, moon, rising around like 9 to 17 degrees in the sign of Scorpio, you're gonna be feeling much more beautiful, much more compassionate, much more loving. People are gonna be much more drawn to you. You're gonna be much more charismatic, much more likable. You're just gonna feel very good about yourself. This is a great time for you to just relax and be a little lazy, be a little indulgent. Just do the things that you love to do. This is an excellent time for play, for just letting loose, for doing, the things that you love and focusing less on work and day-to-day routines and sort of all of that kind of stuff. This is also a great time for you to think about your plans for the future financially, because you're going to be having Mercury in a really nice conjunction with Jupiter, which is going to be transiting your second house of finance throughout all of 2019. So thinking about stating intentions for your financial goals and plans moving forward. What do you want? You're probably thinking already about expanding on your finances, right? Like most people are. But, for Scorpio in particular, this is going to be an energy where that's actually a potential for you, where you can do that very easily, where you can harness that energy of Jupiter in Sagittarius in your second house. And so this is going to help. This is going to bring this to the forefront of your consciousness. So you might have these big, expansive ideas, plans and goals for saving, investing, making major purchases, earning more money, having really great ideas for how you can funnel more money into your second house. So these are all things that you can work with the energy of this Mercury conjunction to Jupiter, which happens on the solstice, the same time that all these other configurations that are really beautiful and really harmonious are coming exact. All right, for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. There we go. So for Sagittarius, this full moon is happening in your 8th house, which is the house of joint finances. So this could be the culmination point of something in your partner's financial situation where money comes in from an outside source, right? Where your partner or your spouse starts making more money and you get to sort of kick back and relax. With Saturn in your 2nd house, you've been having to work a lot harder for your resources. Maybe resources have been tight. Maybe you've been budgeting. Maybe you've been working really hard to pay off debts or to save for a major purchase with Saturn in your 2nd house. And this full moon brings a little bit of ease. You could have money that comes in through inheritance, that comes in through investment, that comes in through a loan that you've been really wanting to take on. Although I don't recommend taking out loans when you have Saturn transiting your 2nd house, just as a side note. But if you are, it could happen for you this week. But this could be, your partner bringing in a little bit of extra money so you get to take a vacation and take a little bit of a break from worrying about these things so much. Or maybe this is the culmination point of you working really hard to pay off debts and a debt finally gets paid off. And so that could be what comes through for you. This energy of and this could be you making final adjustments to your plans for your finances for the future as well, so that way you can create a better situation for yourself moving forward. So this is going to be an energy also of this Mercury conjunct Jupiter, which will be in your 1st house. And so this is anything that you want to create. When you have Jupiter and Sagittarius, the spotlight is on you. So if you want to, expand on your career goals and plans, if you want to put yourself out there more, you're usually going to be seen a lot more easily when you have Jupiter in your sign, right? So people are going to see you. You're not going to be able to avoid the spotlight, in whatever way, in whatever context that's relevant for you, right? Maybe that's you being more in the spotlight in your home environment. Maybe this is you being more in the spotlight in your community, in your work, in your day-to-day life. But it makes you much more likable, much more charismatic. People are going to be more drawn to you. You're going to have better luck and better fortune. Things are going to feel like they're flowing a lot more easily for you. And so this next year is a great time for you to seed intentions as they relate to your own self-interest and what you value and what you want to create for yourself. And so this is a time for you to be a little bit selfish, but not in a bad way, right? In a way where you're thinking about your goals and plans and what you want to create for yourself moving forward. This is also an energy of, you have Venus, which is in your 12th house, which is the house of rest and relaxation. It's the house of spirituality. It's the house of the subconscious realms. It's the house of deep forms of creativity. And this is making a really nice trine to Neptune, which is in your 3rd house, is it in your 3rd house? It's in your fourth house. I sometimes draw these kind of lopsided. It's in your fourth house of the home and family. And so this could be a great time for you to just kick back, relax, rest, spend time out of the day-to-day grind, the day-to-day work experience, spend time in solitude, seclusion, maybe go on a trip with your partner or spend time in solitude and in partnership with somebody. This is a great time to really forge deep connections with your family and with your roots, with your ancestral lineage. So this is a really beautiful, compassionate time to give back to your family, to give really nice gifts, to spend time just relaxing and resting and not worrying so much about, earning money and all of this Saturnian stuff in Capricorn in your second house. Now's the time to relax, right? And so this is going to be a really beautiful week. You get a lot of good energy going on here. So yeah, for Sagittarius, it's time to just indulge a little bit and just rest, just relax. Do something creative, do something where you're connecting with people, do something compassionate, do something charitable. Those are all things that Sagittarius has the green light for this week. All right, and then for Capricorn and for Capricorn rising, this full moon is happening in your seventh house of relationship. And so you might have been focusing a lot of energy on working really hard, on recreating yourself out in the world, creating a new structure, form, or foundation for your life moving forward with the sun. And, the sun just went into Capricorn because it's the solstice on Friday. But with, Saturn moving in Capricorn, you've had a lot of burden, a lot of weight that you've been carrying. You've probably had to work a lot harder. It feels like there's delays and things are not moving as quickly as you might want them to. You've been focusing on, all the hard work and all the burden and what you need, all of your personal responsibility. And this is a time when you need to come back into balance by focusing more of your energy on your relationships, your close partnerships in marriage or in business or in friendship, right? And so this is a time when you can come back into balance to your relationship. This is also a time when you can make adjustments to your home and family situation in order to allow you more energy and more space to focus on your relationships and the people that you care about. This is a time for you to become much more supportive, more loving, more empathic in your relationship. So if you are in a relationship, this is a time to nurture your partner. This could also be the culmination point of something that was seeded in partnership with somebody else in the past that's coming to fruition now. But maybe you need to make a few last minute adjustments in order to allow that energy to unfold in physical reality. This is also an energy that's really, really great this week for Capricorn and Capricorn rising, for connecting with your friends, connecting with your social networks, groups of people that you like to surround yourself with because you surround yourself with them by choice. Capricorn rising people tend to keep their social circle small because they really vet people. They want like deep, intimate, close relationships, and they have a hard time trusting their groups of friends and things like that. So they want loyalty, right? They want deep connection and relationship. And this is a time when you can, revisit some of those relationships and connections. You can form new, deep, intimate connections in terms of friendship. You can have very compassionate, loving, open, spiritual, metaphysical, transcendent conversation with people that you network with or that you surround yourself with by choice. This is a really great time to brainstorm creative ideas with a group of people. That would be something that you could do and utilize this energy for. With Jupiter transiting through your 12th house, you're expanding on your spiritual practice. You're expanding on your inner world. You're expanding on your ability to visualize, to download, to get these impressions through your dreams, through your dream world, right? Your creativity, your deep creativity that comes from the inside out. This is you honing in on your philosophies, your beliefs, your spiritual values over the course of this next year, spending more time in rest and reprieve, even amidst all of the Saturnian energy that's sort of weighing on your ascendant. So Mercury conjunct Jupiter in your 12th house makes this a really great time for you to spend time resting, right? It's a time for you to think about how you're going to create more space for your spiritual practice or for your creativity, or just more time for rest in the year ahead. All right. All right, for Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This full moon is happening in your 6th house, which is the house of work and day-to-day routines. So you've been probably, with Aquarius, there's been a lot of Saturnian energy in your 12th house. And so you might have been sort of hiding away from the world, working on a creative project or a creative pursuit, or you've been needing time in solitude and seclusion. When Saturn transits your 12th house, it's a time of surrender, it's a time of loss, letting go, and usually you do spend a period of time in solitude, either by choice or, by force due to circumstance. And so you might have been spending more time just in your own inner world, spending more time away from people. And this full moon is bringing you back out into the day-to-day reality. It's focusing more on your work, your daily routines, your health habits, your connections with your coworkers, the work that you're doing, out in the world in general. There could be some sort of adjustments that you need to make, or some sort of adjustment, or some sort of communication that comes through that changes your plans, your goals, that changes the way that you do your work, that forces you sort of out in the open a little bit more, but it's going to help you to come back into balance, right? So you've been really deep in your inner world, and maybe, now's the time to focus on what's going on externally. With this energy of Neptune and Pisces. So if you've been working, really hard in your 10th house over the past year with Jupiter transiting through Scorpio, you could actually have some money funnel into your 2nd house with Venus in your 10th house right now, trining that Neptune in your 2nd house. This is a good time to think about how you're going to manifest resources through your connections, through your business partnerships, through the work that you're doing out in the world for the year ahead. This could be you getting some sort of bonus or some sort of recognition that comes through this week. This is also a really great time for Aquarius and Aquarius rising to connect with networks, with groups of people, with your friends, because you're going to be having this Mercury conjunction to Jupiter. So you're going to have a lot of really beneficial communication and collaboration with groups of people this week. And so this is a great time for you to connect with your friends, to connect with old friends, new friends, to think about what you want in terms of the people that you surround yourself with and network with for the future, for the year ahead. And to seed intentions maybe for joining some sort of professional organization or some sort of group. This could even be a good time for you to think about giving back to charity, which is a good thing to do with Saturn transiting your 12th house anyway. But yeah, this is a great time for communication and for connecting with people. So, this could be a very social time for Aquarius rising. All right. And for Pisces rising, this full moon is happening in your 5th house, which is the house of play. So you've been having this Saturnian energy in your 11th house, which maybe has been posing limitation, restrictions, extra burdens and responsibilities on you. As it relates to your friendships, you might have been letting go of certain friendships, bringing in new ones that are more long-lasting. This is a good time to network with people for work, that type of thing. But now is the time to focus a little bit less energy on other people's needs and other people's interests, and focus more on creativity, on play, on the things that you love to do because you love to do them, your hobbies, your passions. This could be a great time for romance, for doing something that you within a romantic partnership. So sort of reigniting your passions in romance, supporting your partner in a very loving, compassionate, nurturing sort of way. This is also an energy of you maybe wanting to focus more on your children. Maybe your children are coming home for the holidays, or your grandchildren are coming home for the holidays. And so you get to play and you get to spend more time focusing on your children and being in a more childlike state. This could be you needing to make some adjustments to your financial plans and goals, so you have more freedom in the future to spend more time doing things that you love to do, or to spend more time with your children, or to spend more time in play, or to spend more time, having romance, right? Doing things that are fun for you. This is also going to be a really good year ahead for you to seed intentions for expanding on your career, your public reputation for all Pisces, because you're going to be having Jupiter transit your 10th house. And so Mercury conjunct Jupiter is highlighting the need to make plans and goals for the future as it relates to your career and to your public reputation, to your relationship with your bosses and people in positions of authority, or for you to plan to get a promotion, to take on a position of authority, or to change whatever it is that you're doing for your job so you have more freedom. So it's more in alignment with your integrity, with your moral values and your ethical belief systems. This is also a really great energy in general for connecting with people, in foreign countries or long distance travel, connecting with people who live far away from you, right? With this Venus energy in your 9th house of foreign travel and long distance travel. This could also be you thinking about, this is just a really great energy in general for being much more loving, much more compassionate, feeling much more connected to people on a more global scale, right? People who live in different countries, people who live at a distance. So you might just be feeling a lot more empathic and a lot more compassionate overall, especially if you have your sun, moon, rising near that 13th degree where Neptune is sitting on your ascendant. So, anywhere really from 10 to 16 degrees, you'll be feeling this the most. But this is a very loving, very compassionate, very interconnected energy. This could be a time when you're thinking about learning a new skill set that's very creative and very intuitive, or teaching something that's very creative and very intuitive. So that's Pisces and Pisces rising. A lot of good energy for all 12 signs this week. It's honestly a really beautiful week. It's one of the best weeks I've seen this year. We've had a lot of sort of chaotic energy. And it's been a rough year. This year started out, pretty all right, and then we had the summer come in and it was just chaos, eclipses and retrogrades and squares and volatile energy. And so now we finally have this little rest and reprieve for the end of 2018, so we can gear ourselves up and get ourselves prepared for what 2019 is going to bring. So I do think this is a wonderful energy. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to book a reading with me, you can always do so. The link is in the description below. I'm also selling holiday gift certificates right now. So if you want to get a really unique gift for a friend or family member, you can get a digital or a hard copy gift certificate. The link is in the description below. And as I mentioned at the start of this video, my webinars are all on sale, 25 to 50% off, and I'll put the links for that in the description below as well. So thank you all again, and I will see you next week. Bye.